So what is an apartment AGM? Now, an apartment AGM, it stands for, first of all, AGM stands for Annual General Meeting. Now, by law, an apartment complex or a unit title complex has to have an annual general meeting every 15 months. So generally it happens every year, hence why it's called annual general meeting. Now, this is really important, and this is what actually, when you hear of AGM minutes or body corporate minutes, that is the written recording of these meetings, which is called your annual general meeting. Okay, so what happens in these meetings? What do they talk about? So in these meetings, I'll give you some of the topics that they generally speak about. They'll talk about the financial statements for the year and the budget moving forward, i.e. what's expected to happen next year, what are all the expenses, that kind of thing. Another one is they'll be talking about the long-term maintenance plan. So that's what is happening in the next 10 years, and that should be discussed at every annual general meeting. It has to be reviewed by law every 3 years, but it should be discussed because you're often shuffling things around because unexpected things come up. So this is like, oh, well, the lift actually needs maintenance in 5 years, but it's shaking a bit. So why don't we look at bringing it forward 2 years? Things like that. Now, another one is insurance. Insurance is always talked about because it's the biggest ticket item. And you often, as a body corporate, right, they go out and talk to the different insurers. And that's what your body corporate company does for you on your behalf. And you come back with different quotes and find out which is the best for your building because, as I said, it's the largest expense of the budget. You've got other expenditure, things like your building management contracts, so that leaves into service contracts, which is, cleaning, lift maintenance, depending on how big the complex is depending on how many service contracts you're going to have, picking up the rubbish, things like that. Now, another one is your building manager review. So a building manager will come and give a review on the year. What were the good things? What were the points that were of difficulty? What are the things that can be improved? And what's their opinion? What's the ground view or the ground floor sort of perspective of what's happening in our complex? Now, these are really, really important when it comes to owners who don't live in the building, because the building manager is their eyes and their ears to a degree. The next one is obviously voting for the chairman and the owners committee. Now this is very important because you've got to vote on who you want to